Hi, my name is Jerry, and this is Writing Comics. I'm the creator of a book called Evermatter, and I have a New Year's resolution, and that New Year's resolution is to get videos uploaded more often. It's been about 2 weeks since I've uploaded a video, and that is just too long in my opinion. So I've got some new toys to help me with that. I've got a new camera and a new mic because I know that my sound mostly has been pretty bad in the past, and I want to rectify that before uploading any new videos. And that's one of the things that has kept me from uploading videos as often as I should, I think, is because I knew that it was a problem and I just didn't have any way to rectify it at the time. So, oh, and my wife got me this for Christmas. It is my mug of Evermatter characters. This guy right here, this is Bond Corum. He is the master of all things magical. This is Gary, best pilot in the universe, hands down, no other better. And this is my Irish lass. I started to say Celtic lass. I can't talk. I started to say Celtic lash, but she is my Irish lass, Kira, and she has the ability to warp to any place that she sees or any place that she has been in the past. So that's a pretty cool ability for that character, and that gives you a little insight of who these guys are and their strengths. So today we're going to be talking about your script and why you should shelve it for a little while, and we're going to be talking about that just after the crawl. So if you fancy yourself a writer, you've probably watched many videos on YouTube about how to write and maybe how to get past writer's block, maybe how to be more productive, maybe comparing yourself to other writers. Maybe you've watched videos just to learn the style of maybe screenplays or comic book scripts or manuscripts and how to format those videos. But one of the tips that these great writers of the past and the great writers that are still around today give you all the time in these videos is to take your manuscript, write it, blast it out, get the words on the page, and stick it in a drawer. Well, I I don't know how many of us actually do that. You know, if you're wanting to get your book out there, you write out, you pound it out, you get your script to perfection the way that you like it, and then you start trying to find a way to get it published, produced, whatever the terminology may be, to get it out there to the world. I didn't do that. I don't know how many of us actually do. I didn't do that. I got my script ready. I got it edited. I showed it to a few friends, and did some spell checks, grammar check, that kind of thing, and sent it to my artist. My artist started drawing on the script. Well, during that time, my wife pointed out a plot hole in my script. So, well, it can be explained away by this, or it can be explained away by that. And I started working on book 2 of Evermatter, and got to write on it. And that's for some reason I decided, I'd go back to book 1, just read, because I wanted to make sure that everything was consistent in book 2 that was in book 1. Because sometimes, after you've been working on something a while and you put it down, then you start working on something else, you forget the details, and I want to make sure I got some details right. And I started reading through the script, and I actually started reading the whole script and found out that there were some things in there that just wasn't up to par. And I had put it down for a little while, picked it back up, and just like those greats from the past have said that it would, I found some things that I wasn't really pleased with. I didn't really like. So I did. Of course, my artist was still working, on pages 1 through, I think he's working on page 7 and 8 at the moment. So at page 15, I started editing the script because there were just some things that didn't make sense, could have been worded a little bit better. The dialogue was a little bit off. So I started working on those things, and by the time it was done, I had made several changes to the script that make the script better as a whole. So the point is, if you have that script, do like it's something that I've learned and had to come to terms with. Do like the greats say, put it in a drawer, leave it there for a little while, and come back to it. Read over it, make your edits, make your changes, put it in a drawer, Leave it there for a little while, as many times as you need to do that until you can finally put it down and you can finally say that this is complete. Now, that being said, with any art form, with any kind of art, at some point you just have to say, all right, it's done, it's completed, I'm not touching it anymore. I implore you to please practice this technique. It will save you time in the future so that when you write book 2, you don't have to go back and start rewriting book 1 from the mid-page part. I didn't really have to rewrite the whole book. I didn't have to rewrite half of the script, but there were a couple of pages. I changed some things around. I fixed the plot hole that my wife was pointed out. So put it in the drawer, step away from it, come back to it, step away from it for a couple of weeks so that you forget what you wrote, come back to it, read over it, make any edits, put it in a drawer, step away from it for a couple weeks, come back to it, and until you can come to a point where you're happy with it and you say, this is complete, I'm done with it. That being said, I still have one line in my script that I cannot get right. I want it to be a foreshadowing of the next book, and for a certain character that is in this book, which was not on the mug. She is not on the mug, but she is an awesome character, an amazing character. And she becomes a substantial character in the future, and the villain meets this character in book 1. The villain says something to the character, and I cannot get a good read on what the villain should say. I kind of want it to be this iconic line because it's the first time we see the villain, and I kind of want it to be a foreshadowing of what's to come in the future, and for some reason, I just can't get it. But I will before Carlos, my artist, gets to that point. And so that's just the tip that I wanted to leave you with. Put it down, come back to it, put it down, come back to it. That way, every time you pick it up, you have a more objective eye of what you wrote. Because a lot of times when you're entranced or engrossed in your art and in your writing, some things may slip through that you don't intend because you're putting down so much on paper at one time that it's easy to overlook something or to write something that's either corny, childish, or seems very just out of place when you read it the second time or the third time. So put it down, leave it, come back to it. That's my tip for the day. I appreciate you guys watching. If you like the content, then please leave a thumbs up, a like, and a subscribe if you have not already. Thanks. I hope that all of your dreams come true and that your imagination runs wild.